rehabilitation efforts, about the Biren Singh government's rehabilitation efforts. This has raised a serious question. Why are the IDPs leaving their makeshift camps and taking to the streets? There must be definite reasons. Instead of looking into the reasons, instead of listening to their grievances, the state government has unleashed the police force, and the police force in Imphal, they use the same amount of force. From experience we are seeing that these policemen in Imphal use the same amount of force while dealing with the internally displaced people, as well as dealing with insurgents or dealing with militants and all. So this is absolutely shocking. There is something serious questions are raised about the Manipur police's crowd control approaches. What is the crowd control approach of the Manipur police? This is a serious question now. And the journalist was assaulted. The journalist was assaulted for no rhyme or reason. He was repeatedly flashing his identity card. The reporter belonging to a local TV channel was assaulted for no rhyme or reason. He was kicked in the chest. He could have been detained, he could have been taken away, he could have been grabbed and taken away. What was the need to kick him on the chest? So these are issues that the government will have to answer. Now IDPs are protesting, they are coming out of their makeshift camp, they are marching towards the assembly. Obviously, they want to say something. They should have been listened to. Why were they allowed to come out of their camps? Why were they not barricaded at some point as they were starting their march? Instead of doing that, the police were firing live rounds, the police were firing tear gas cells and so on and so forth. So this is a clear case of police high-handedness, Priya.
Right. So, Wasbir, the internally displaced people are clearly not a happy lot. Displaced by the violence, struggling for basic facilities, they want to return home and hence the protests. So, should not the authorities listen to them instead of assaulting them?
Absolutely, absolutely. This was a case that required a lot of empathy from the authorities. This was this was a case where the authorities should have deputed magistrates, they could have deputed senior political leaders to stop the IDPs along the way, listen to their grievances, and they want to go home. Now they cannot obviously go home so easily because they have been displaced. The IDPs who are in Imphal are mates who have been displaced from places like Moreh, which is now a Kuki dominated area. Now they cannot obviously go back to Moreh. The situation is not conducive at all in Manipur at this point in time. So all the authorities needed was to listen to their grievances, depute senior political leaders or senior officials to the site from where they had started the march. They could have been stopped along the way, they could have been listened to. So instead of doing that, they have unleashed the police force, which is something which is totally unexpected in a democracy. In a democracy, the people have the right to come out on the streets and voice their protest and voice their grievances. And here, they are already a traumatized lot. These are the internally displaced people, already traumatized, already displaced from their hearts and homes. Already their children are suffering. Already their children's education has been disrupted. Their livelihood have been completely snapped. So in this kind of a situation, one has to understand that these are generally angry people. These are generally people who are filled with emotions. So instead of doing that, the Biren Singh government has demonstrated today once again that they believe in brute force to put a stop to the grievances, put a stop to the voice of the people. So that is what was once again demonstrated on the streets of Imphal today.
Right, Wasbir, thank you so much for all those details.
News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime, every day at 7 p.m.
Ace your style with Fasino.